Well, the lapdogs of the oligarchy who sit on the Supreme Court ruled to ban TikTok, and, I'm past the point of being mad about all of this. I'm exhausted, and I'm sad. It's just another, soul-crushing defeat, not only for myself, but for a bunch of people I care about, and for millions and millions, hundreds of millions of Americans. And I want to be angry about it. I want to be so mad, because TikTok is how I got my start creating content. I've spent 3 years of my life pouring blood, sweat, and tears into that platform to build a community of over 500,000, like 560,000 people. I've made some incredible friends and had some amazing opportunities that I was only afforded because of that platform and the community it has allowed me to build. I have learned things I never dreamed I'd learn, both from other creators and just from having to create content myself. Like over half the country, 175 million Americans, I too have found communities that I belong to and communities that I never thought I'd get to participate in. TikTok has given me the ability to advocate for people. It's given me a purpose I never thought I would have. TikTok has genuinely changed my life in ways that nothing else ever has or could have. So I have more reasons than most to be angry, and I should be, but I'm not. I'm sad. And I'm disappointed. I am so disappointed in our elected officials who gleefully forced this through in a humanitarian aid package without even debating its merits, all while they stand to make millions off the tech stock that they own, while effectively muzzling millions of their constituents from being able to criticize and hold them accountable. And while they laugh all the way to the bank, tens of millions of Americans are going to be struggling to figure out how to put food on their table and pay their rent next month, all from their greedy, selfish, cruel decision to ban the app. And I'm disappointed in our injustice system. Federal judges who have the audacity to call themselves honorable with a straight face, all while shredding our First Amendment rights. Because apparently corporations are people and money is speech protected under the First Amendment, but the platform that 175 million Americans use to share their speech isn't. And I'm disappointed in some of you all, honestly. Some of my friends and family, as well as people in my communities on platforms that aren't TikTok. I've expressed my pain and disappointment that I'm feeling for myself and for tons of people that I care about, and millions of Americans that are going to lose something important to them because of this legislation. And I was honestly amazed at how fucking gullible and insensitive some of y'all are. I posted a video about how in protest a bunch of us have gone to Red Note, which is an app actually owned by the Chinese Communist Party, and it's like, hey, we weren't getting any Chinese propaganda or Chinese content on TikTok, but guess what? And so many of you are like, oh, China's not that great. You can't believe all the things that you see. And oh my God, how could you miss the point so badly? I am well fucking aware that China has lots of problems. I wasn't defending or promoting China in any way, shape, or form. I am well aware that a $15,000 Chinese car is probably not the pinnacle of automotive excellence. I get that China censors their citizens. I get that China does a lot of real questionable humanitarian shit. That wasn't the point. The point is, so do we, first of all. And second of all of the things they were pretending that there were problems on TikTok that didn't actually exist were actually on this app. That was the irony. It's like, this is where we're getting the Chinese propaganda we weren't getting there. This is definitely where the Chinese Communist Party could be collecting our data, which they weren't getting at TikTok. And for everybody who swallowed the national security bullshit, how do you do that with a straight face when literally Meta got caught in the whole Cambridge Analytica scandal? Did you forget that? Selling our data to foreign fucking adversaries like Russia and China. Meta has been caught data sharing for years with Chinese and Russian organizations that have been flagged by the Department of National Security. Did Congress pass any laws? Has anybody been held accountable? Did anything change? Hell no. Or it's a national security risk because it can be used by our foreign adversaries to peddle propaganda to American citizens. It's a good thing that 90% of the users on Meta and Twitter aren't just Russian bots then, right? Remind me, was it TikTok that was the vehicle that allowed our foreign adversaries to interfere in our elections, or no, it wasn't, was it? So I'm disappointed in how many people bought into the national security bullshit at the expense of millions and millions of people's income and platform to express themselves on. Or those of you who are like, oh, it's addictive and it causes brain rot or whatever else. You sound like every geezer since the dawn of time. People have said that same crap about the radio and television and comic books and video games and rock and roll music, telephones, cell phones, the internet, literally every single technological advancement or new type of entertainment. People who apparently just hate seeing other people happy get mad about it and then claim that it's going to cause brain rot or cause addiction problems. I heard so many different excuses and and justifications from people who are in my comments always claiming to be empathetic about people's plight, who are for class consciousness and equality and just allowing people to do the things that they enjoy, who are for democracy and more social and civic engagement, who are too lazy to do any critical thinking or take any time to understand the complexities and the scope of this topic, but had absolutely zero issue doing Olympic-level mental gymnastics to justify why they think it's okay or they're supporting this app being banned. Just because they don't use it and it doesn't affect them, all of a sudden all of that empathy and class consciousness and civic engagement support just gone. Just don't give a single solitary care about the 175 million Americans who are losing something that is important to them, about the tens of millions of Americans who are losing income streams they depend on, about the tens of millions of marginalized people who have found community and support and resources on the platform that they are going to lose. And there's just a little extra salt in the wound because so many of us, myself included, have used that app to advocate for so many other people. But when we needed a little bit of advocacy, we get lectured about brain rot or national security bullshit. That's disappointing to me. It's just disappointing to have people in your community, people you advocate for or work hard to entertain, cheer on something that's going to make your life harder, to cheer on losing something important to us, to cheer on struggling more to pay the mortgage and put food on the table. It just sucks. Anyway, I'm just sad about it, and it makes me even sadder that if it does get saved, which I really hope it does, it's going to be saved at the hands of Donald Trump's ego. Chalk another win up for the shittiest timeline. Anyway, that's all. I'm just sad about it, and I'm disappointed, and I'm frustrated, and I wanted to vent about it, so thanks for letting me do that. And I'm still posting on the Tube and all of the other places, although the Tube's the only one that pays me, so I appreciate if you guys follow me there, but I appreciate if you just follow me to any place that you guys like using the most. It means a lot that you watch my content, whether I'm getting paid for it or not. I love y'all, and thank you to each and every one of you who's been a part of this journey with me and helped me get to this point. You have no idea how much I appreciate all of you. You are an amazing part of my life, and I can't thank you enough.